Vortex here, and welcome to my review of the THOR Mjölnir MKII, if that's a correct pronunciation. I will just call it the Mark II later on in the video, just for simplicity. And yet, as usual, full disclaimer is this actually sent out to me from a viewer, so thank you very much, you know who you are. I was not paid to do this video, and all thoughts and opinions are my own. And yet, this is all it comes with. So for just under $400, you get just this case, which is kind of disappointing. And these are a single dynamic driver per side. And yeah, let's just get into it. So, because obviously it's just sent out to me by the owner, this also does come with a different cable. I think it's a silver or grey, silver or white, something like that. Please check the description where he bought this from, so you can check all the specs and what, you know, everything else it comes with and the current price. But as of this video, it is, I think, just a little bit under 400, which is too much, but I'll talk about that in a bit. So anyway, just get straight into it. So look over them. They do look very well. Some fingerprints, obviously, because I've been using it. So they do look very good. Again, these are a single dynamic driver. Build quality is good. They're a little bit thick. They look bigger than they are, so they're not very, see, like the height's not big, they're just a little bit thick, but the actual comfort's fine. So that's what they look like. Again, they look very, I do look like how they look. I like there's no writing on them. So anyway, it's just trying to comfort on these is, well, actually it's perfectly fine, to be honest. Them being thick, it doesn't really matter as much as it, if they was taller and thick would be less comfortable, but I had no issues. Same with the fit. The fit was pretty good. Not the best I've tried, but more than fine. There's also a lip on the nozzle, as you can see. That's what it looks like. Can't show any tips what they come with because I didn't get supplied what they are. And I was also told the tips that come with it don't even fit anyway, so, which is a bit disappointing. Excuse me. So let's talk about tonality of these, which is DD, which is pretty good. I don't know the exact size. It's 12 point something millimeter dynamic. Do check the description so you know exactly the correct information. But it is obviously is a DD tonality. It is pretty good as per expected. And yeah, not too bad. So stage imaging was again fine. I didn't have any issues with stuff like that. But yeah. Nothing out of the ordinary, not great, not bad, nothing like that, but yeah, so that's what it looks like. So, power and sensitivity, again, another item I didn't really have any issues with. As usual, I tried this with a few different sources. I tried it with my J. Kelly AP90, my topping combo, and the X3 Pro Plus. And I tried it with the Tempertech Sonata HD2, again, all fine. Don't seem fussy, so it still seems alright. So sound, so I'm going to overlay the graph now so you can see what they sound like. Move that out of the way. So here's the graph. Now, quite good channel matching, to be honest, which I didn't expect. Now bass, as you can see, that's an awesome, really nice elevation. How they've done that, it's like perfect elevation, which is crazy. But yeah, bass on these is solid, as you can kind of tell. Very linear raise across from probably too much into the mids, but I'll get to that in a bit. So for bass, these are very fun, punchy, decay's good. I like these for low end, they're quite fun. In some tracks, you may have too much, but I typically listen to electronic and I do like the level of bass. It is very fun. So yeah, not much to say about it. I do like that kind of level for what I want. But if you like more, these are neutral, so you'd have to EQ it back a bit. But yeah, the bass was fine. I had no issues with that. So the mid-range, as you can see, it does bleed a bit, but it bleeds a bit too much. These are like near bass head level. They're very controlled bass though, so they don't have crazy elevation like the K-Beer Rose Finches, I think is the model. I don't have them, but going from the graphs, those are bass head. but this is getting there, but much more controlled in a way. But yeah, mid-range is good. It's a bit scooped. I'd prefer a little bit more upper mid-range, a little bit. Excuse me. But yeah, not apart from that, not too bad at all. Yeah, everything's clear. Everything is where it should be. You may want it a touch more forward, and you probably want a little bit less lower mid bleed, but apart from that, they're not too bad. Now onto the part which I think lets it down is the treble. As you can see, the treble is elevated right in the presence region. So for certain tracks, I found this a bit shouty. In some tracks, it was fine. So I tried some of Adele just before I'd done this video, and she was a bit too forward there, as I kind of expected it to be, which is a bit of a shame. I prefer the lower treble more to be kind of tapered off. No, I mean, I don't like things dark, but you can see like where the 2K is. I'd prefer it to taper off kind of where it meets the 2K. I found this a bit fatiguing for longer use. Excuse me, but yeah, a bit too fatiguing. Not what I'd personally want. And sometimes at 11K appears, but it all depends on what kind of music you want. And obviously the 8K on these is just a resonance coupler. So yeah, treble is what lets this down. It is very clear though. Instrument separation and stuff like that is very good, as I kind of expected to do. Also, the higher, obviously the lower treble part kind of does offset like the bass a bit. So yes, I have to bear that in mind, but sometimes it's too much. It's kind of a bit lets it down. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting for what you're paying for to be a bit more refined, and they're not, which is a bit of a shame. So yeah, conclusion, do I recommend these? No, they're far too expensive. I think I'm sure them in the 300 region, which these seem to be like they should be half the price. It's probably is the best way to describe it. So in the 300 to high 300 area, they aren't worth that, especially with the, to be honest, pathetic kind of, they just come with that, which is nowhere near good enough for what you're paying for. Obviously, I don't know what the real cable looks like, but yeah, I don't recommend these. They do lack refinement, and the treble needs smoothing over. Again, you can EQ. I think these cost twice as much as they should do. They should be half what they are. I think that's why these kind of went under the radar, because they're too expensive and people just kind of skipped it. But apart from that, they do work well. They are a good DD. It's just the tuning needs refinement, and they're too expensive, like far too expensive. But on the whole, they are a decent DD. It needs more work, really. And depends if that kind of lower treble is what suits you. But they are okay. They're just twice as much as they should do. Twice as much as they should be, in my opinion. And just that case is nowhere near good enough, which is pathetic, really. They should really improve that, because that's nowhere near good enough. Yeah, and apart from that, I think that's pretty much it. So if you're into anything in particular, let me know in the comments, as per usual. And yeah, thanks for watching. Take care.